Hello, Retrospect-ish here. For someone who doesn't really have a whole lot of followers on my channel, I do get a lot of questions sent to me. Anything from how my summer is going to where on earth is Tabby and Howard. Which honestly I couldn't tell you. But lately people have been asking for my opinion on this revelation of the new Sailor Moon series, which I might as well start off by saying, A, I know about it, B, I think it's a good idea, and C, yes, I am fucking hyped over it. But because of this glorious news, dialogue about the old series sprouted up everywhere, and I've been getting requests to do a retrospective on this show. Initially, I was going to say no, but it's actually got me thinking. The show and I had a complex relationship. We had a thing going, things were going uphill, then it went downhill. Things began to get great again, and then I got disappointed. And you know, they say, you know, maybe I should talk about it. Maybe I should talk about how I felt about the original series, because after all, you know, talking does help, doesn't it? Now, this isn't going to be my typical retrospective where I talk about the characters. I mean, really, what is there to talk about? Serena is a ditz, Amy is smart, Ray is a bitch, Lita is strong, and Mina is legally blonde. The girls have secret identities, fight evil, find the princess, and save the future. I should start off by saying that I'm Canadian, and the only station that aired Sailor Moon in my area was YTV. And this is the English dub. Now keep in mind, I did not have access to the internet until 1997. The wonderful year that gave us Final Fantasy VII, Titanic, and cell phones that never actually worked. This is the only version I have seen and did not and still don't have any interest in seeing the Japanese version. Now I know what you're saying. But Neko, the English version doesn't do the show any justice. The Japanese version's way better and blah 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 blah. Well, see, this is what this video is about. It's about my experience with the show, the relationship, how my interest in the series died, and thus why I'm happy with the new one coming out. I actually remember the first time I saw Sailor Moon. I was cleaning my room with the TV on while I hear the title. After seeing the colorful intro with the catchy theme song, I was drawn in pretty quickly. I told my cousin about the show the next day and she got curious, and sure enough, she got hooked too. Sailor Moon was a show that really came out at the perfect time. My cousin and I were teenagers at the time, and watching anything that was animated was considered a shame. Just as the Sailor Scouts had a pact to keep their identities secret, she and I had our own pact, to never tell anyone while we were watching. It was just as I said in my top 10 favorite nostalgic theme songs. Sailor Moon had a theme that was a shame to know as a kid, but an achievement as an adult. Today we can talk about this freely, but not so in the cruel world of junior high school. Anytime we were together, we watched the show, and if I did not happen to be at her home or vice versa, we would often compare notes the next day. Our excitement peaked when Sailor Moon became the princess, and the show kept going on and on. We loved it more and more. We were the true definition of fangirls. Anytime we had the house to ourselves, we'd listen to the soundtrack. And on that blessed year when we got dial-up internet, we began to learn about the future seasons and waited in anticipation for their arrival. And well, this is where the bumps began. After the final battle of Queen Beryl, YTV suddenly aired the Black Moon arc, which seemed fun until the episode where Rini learned Sailor Moon's identity. I'm biting my nails for 24 hours for the next episode, and on the next day, I see two aliens with a tree who are lovers but are also siblings, and yeah, I didn't know what was going on, but I had hope. So I watched it anyway until the last battle, and once again I'm in anticipation of the next episode, and BAM! The series starts over with the very first episode. I was like, what the fuck? The series screwed me over. Well, apparently YTV aired the arcs in the wrong order. So after watching the show again, the aliens came after Queen Beryl, and then the Black Moon arc began. My hopes were high again. I was excited. Finally, I can watch this arc again and see Reed's reaction to discovering Sailor Moon's identity. And then... it went back to the beginning! You see, this is where my interest began to die. Why on earth would a studio stop dubbing at the show's most pivotal cliffhangers? Sailor Moon was already one of the hottest things going. They had Sailor Moon dolls. Dolls, I tell you. The show kept repeating itself, so I pretty much gave up on it and put it in my fun while it lasted pile. But a few years later, something changed. I was completing a piano lesson and I noticed my teacher's daughter watching Sailor Moon, and I suddenly realized it was a new episode. The show came back. I rushed home and called my cousin, and she was happy too, and thus we returned to the old days, watching a show in secret and eager to wait what happened next. Did this last? No. After defeating the Doom Phantom, we knew what arc would come next. There was an episode that was basically a symbiosis of what was to come. It looked really good. We turned on the TV the next day. It was going back to the fucking beginning! That was when I said, fuck you, and stopped watching the show altogether. And remember, the internet was still limited. There was no online videos, and even if there were, we still only had dial-up. My only other outlet were the movies released on VHS, which were okay at the time, but the series was just dead to me. After a few more years, I seen new episodes being aired, but by that time, I just stopped caring. How would I know the show would not end abruptly and start over again? And besides, the voice acting sucked. Fool me once, shame on you. This is where the new series comes in. I'm glad for the reboot for two reasons. One, it is a way for me to start over and give Sailor Moon another chance. And two, it's going to follow the manga much more closely and it won't be intended for kids. I must admit, I only read bits and pieces of the manga, and it was due to my dying interest that I just did not bother despite having the resources of getting them. It was also the same thing with the Japanese dub of the anime. I could watch them, but I just did not want to put in the effort. So yes, I do plan on watching the new Sailor Moon anime. I really do have high hopes for it, and heaven help me, if this show pulls out the same shit like it did last time, that's it, we're through. So to make sure that this doesn't happen again, I will be watching the original Japanese dub. So, a Sailor Moon anime is coming out on 2013. Like many of you, I eagerly await it. So let the countdown begin. This is Chibi Neko, signing out.